Masculinity's norms. We see that all societies have set certain standards for masculinity, just like we have set standards for femininity. So, women have standards for being a good, ideal woman, and similarly, men have standards for being a man, a good man, an ideal man, set by the society. So, how do these work? Where have these norms come from? We see that during the socialization process, these norms are taught to children, and these are learnt by children as they grow up. And the norms of masculinity, people keep learning them all their life, different types of norms at different stages of life. Some of the norms that we can see here include anti-feminine norm, as the very name shows, being against feministic, stigmatizing all stereotyped feminine characteristics, making fun of female characteristics, especially if they are found in a male member. Interpersonal relations. We see that there are set norms for men also. Women, when they are in interpersonal relationships, they are close, they disclose a lot, and they talk about personal life with their friends. In case of men, they are not open. There is restricted openness. There are relationships which have a reserved nature and restraints in emotional openness. Men do not talk openly about their personal life and personal problems with people, and this is a set norm for them. Success norm. So you can see that things are becoming more and more difficult. Success norm is men strive for success no matter what it takes. A man has to be successful. People want to see men as successful. So I often give this example to my students that if there is a young girl who decides not to go for higher education after doing 10 classes, 10th grade or matriculation, many parents would be happy with that. They will not have a problem with that. But if a boy decides that he does not want to go for education anymore, it becomes a problem for the family and for the society. That young man, that young boy is treated as a mental patient. So, the success norm operates for men. It's a difficult norm. Gendered occupation. Then there is a norm that certain jobs are men's jobs. And if a woman enters that workplace, then men are not happy with that, because they believe that this is a job meant for men, and women cannot do it. And woman, if she joins that job, will be the odd one out. Toughness norm. That is, men have to be tough. Men don't cry. Men have to be tough. Aggression norm. Men are aggressive. Now we see that once again, these are norms and standards set for men. But are all men aggressive in nature? Are all men tough? Are men not scared of anything? This is what the norms do to people. Then, sexual prowess norm. That is, men are sexual beings and they are interested in sexuality. Tenderness norm. Now, some norms with the changing times and more egalitarian viewpoints and more feminist attitudes, some norms are changing also. So we see that we have this tenderness norm also. There is a growing realization that men have to be soft, tender, sensitive, and understanding, and they should have a softer side. Intellectual success. That is another norm, a difficult one. Men are, or men have to be intellectually superior. Men cannot be inferior in terms of intellectual ability. Once again, we know that all people have different intellectual ability. They are born with that. So it is not necessary that every man would be intellectually superior. So we see that there is some research available, although not a lot of research has been done in this area, but there is some research, even in Pakistan, the research is available, which studies the burden of these norms on men. You can find research about the burden of being a man in a patriarchal society. Being the head of the family, having to meet these difficult norms, this may have repercussions for men. Meeting the norms may require effort and energy and psychological struggle, emotional struggle on part of men. But we see that these norms exist. These norms are to be achieved. Men are supposed to achieve and meet these norms. And we see that the norms are gradually changing also.